Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special episode of Keeping It Real with Alex Cardinale. I'm your host, the one and the only Alex Cardinale. Today, I have a very serious topic, and a topic that I usually do not discuss because it is very controversial and mostly on the negative side. I'm a very positive, happy go lucky person. I like to focus on the positive things in the world, but as we all know, not everything that goes on in the United States and the world is positive. So today's topic, I've been asked by a personal friend who wants to hear my opinion on this topic. So I figured I would do a special live broadcast of Keeping It Real with Alex Cardinale, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So before we begin, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, please make sure to hit the thumbs up and give this video a like. Share this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I really appreciate that. So I know the country is really divided on this topic. A lot of people think that the person we're going to be talking about today is innocent, and the other half thinks he is guilty, he should be in jail, and he should be facing all charges. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse case. Now, Kyle Rittenhouse killed two men and wounded another. Now, this all happened over a protest over another victim who was shot by police and police brutality. 2020 was a very bad year for the United States of America. Not only did we have the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, but we had an increase in crimes. There was a lot of robberies and shootings. But one of the things that will make 2020 one of the worst years in American history is police brutality. George Floyd was shot and killed by a crook police officer, and there were a couple of other police brutality shootings that resulted in black people either getting seriously injured or lost their life. And I will agree that those police officers definitely stepped out of line and did the wrong thing. But not all police officers are bad. Just It's just that when there are bad ones, they give the good ones a bad reputation, which is unfortunate. So today's video is a video I usually do not do. So please do not judge me for this video if you disagree with what I say or you don't like what I say about today's topic. But it's a very important topic, as I feel that it is a part of American history. So some of you, my viewers, may disagree with my opinion, and I totally understand that and I respect that. I have friends who disagree with me, but I'm still their friends and I respect their opinion as well. So with that, let's get started. So what led to the Kyle Rittenhouse shootings? Well, it was actually the Kanasha protest. And I don't know if I pronounced that right, but it's actually the protest of another victim of a police shooting. It was the shooting of Jacob Blake, who was an African American man, and he was shot in Kenosha. So right now we are going to find out what started the 2020 Kenosha unrest shooting. So before we do that, I want your opinion. What is your opinion? Do you think Kyle Rittenhouse is innocent? Let me know in the comments, and I will react to your opinions. And of course, I will respectfully react to your opinions. So let's get to our first topic of our evening, which is going to be what started the 2020 Kenosha unrest shooting. So on August 23rd, 2020, Jacob Blake, an African American man, was shot seven times from behind by a Kanasha police officer after he was tased. Blake was shot after he opened the door to an SUV and was leaning into the vehicle. As a result of the shooting, he became paralyzed from the waist down. The police shooting was followed by protest as part of the Black Lives Matter movement, which saw a resurgence in the wake of several other high profile killings by police officers in 2020. So the Kenosha protests include rallies, marches, property damage, arson, and clashes with police. So I understand protesting, police brutality, but why the violence? Why do we have to burn down buildings? Why do we have to cause property damage and fight with police officers? Violence is not the answer to problems. That is what I don't understand. Luckily, Jacob Blake did survive the police shooting, but he is severely wounded. Now, the previous May, Jacob Blake was accused of rape. The accuser accused him of entering a room where she was sleeping near one of her children. Then he put his finger into her vagina, pulled it out, smelled it, and said, "Smells like you've been with other men." The alleged victim also said that Blake had sexually assaulted her approximately twice per year. So the reason he was hiding from police was he was wanted on sexual assault charges. So when the 911 call came in from the woman who was reporting him for sexual assault, she reported that he was stealing her car. And when she gave the police the name of Jacob Blake, he had a warrant out for his arrest for sexual assault. So obviously, that's going to heighten police's awareness, and they're going to think he's going to be on the defensive. So police found his car and they pulled him over and they tried to arrest him, but they claim he was being combative and defensive and fighting with them. And he ended up getting shot 7 times, wounded, partially paralyzed, but he is still alive, thank God, and he's recovered. I'm pretty sure he's close to recovering now. So thank God he did not lose his life like George Floyd. And I am definitely not siding with the police on this case. I think they could have handled this any other way besides shooting him, maybe throwing him to the ground. But shooting is definitely a very last resort that I would do if I was a police officer, but I'm not. So maybe I'm not eligible to speak on that topic. All right. So now let's talk about the uh, Kanasha unrest, which is basically a protest, and how Kyle Rittenhouse gets involved. Now, before we talk about that, let's talk about some facts about Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse in 2020 was only 17 years old, so he wasn't even an adult yet at the time of the shooting. And he had been a supporter of Blue Lives Matter, which basically means that he supports the police officers and law enforcement. And I will say that too am a Blue Lives Matter person. I support the police officers. I have friends that are police officers, and I have a couple of family members that are retired police officers. And I know that not all police officers out there are bad. There are a few bad ones who do abuse their power, but a majority of the police officers in the United States of America are kind, caring, loyal, and lovable people who are out there to protect your safety. And they too are humans. So if they feel threatened, they have the right to react to defend themselves because they want to go home to their families as well. And oftentimes, when people have warrants, they get combative because they don't want to go to jail, and police don't know if they have weapons or not, so they're forced to defend themselves. But like I said, Kyle Rittenhouse was only 11 years old. Kyle Rittenhouse was only 17 years old at the time of the shooting, and he was armed with a deadly weapon. But let's just find out his role in the case. So, what was Kyle Rittenhouse's role in the 2020 Kanasha shooting? So, Kyle Rittenhouse, a 17-year-old from Illinois, shot and killed two men and wounded another during confrontations at two locations in Kenosha. Now, here's something that not many people know. Kyle Rittenhouse had participated in local police cadet programs, so he does want to become a police officer. And he expressed support on social media for the Blue Lives Matter movement and law enforcement, like I just mentioned. He was armed with a semi automatic AR 15 style rifle, while one individual wounded by Rittenhouse was armed with a handgun. Rittenhouse said he was in Kenosha to protect a car dealership from being vandalized and to provide medical aid. Now, let me make one thing perfectly clear. In these protests, such as the George Floyd protest and this protest, oftentimes these protests did get violent. People did get hurt. People did destroy property. Buildings did get burned. So I think Kyle Rittenhouse, just like me and a lot of other citizens of the United States of America, was sick and tired of watching these protests destroy our buildings and destroy America. It's totally fine to protest, but do it peacefully. Don't damage small business owners' locations because they have to pay for their locations out of their hard-earned money. And likewise with chain stores, like I noticed a CVS pharmacy in the area where George Floyd lived was burned down. I mean, come on, they didn't shoot George Floyd. Their buildings do not deserve to be destroyed. So, from that aspect, I kind of have to agree with Kyle Rittenhouse, and I kind of have to commend him for protecting the car dealership from being vandalized. And I have to give him respect for being there to provide medical aid. So let's get to the actual shootings. So at the first location, Kyle Rittenhouse was pursued by a group that included Kenosha resident Joseph Rosenbaum, the very first victim. According to a witness, an unarmed Rosenbaum then lunged at Rittenhouse and attempted to take his rifle. That is pretty stupid. First of all, why would you run at somebody that has a rifle pointed at you? You're basically dying to be shot. You want to be shot and killed if you're doing that. So I really don't have any sympathy for Mr. Rosenbaum because I think he was there to harm Kyle Rittenhouse. And I think Kyle Rittenhouse acted in self-defense. Rittenhouse fired 4 times at Rosenbaum, hitting his groin, his hand, his thigh, his head, and back, and with a perforated heart, artery, pulmonary artery, and right lung, Rosenbaum died shortly afterwards. I think if Rosenbaum left him alone, he would still be alive. But Mr. Rittenhouse fought for his life and acted in self-defense. Rittenhouse then fled the scene to a second location while being followed by a crowd of around a dozen people. He tripped and fell to the ground after being hit in the head, then fired twice at an unidentified man who jump kicked him. Others in the crowd approached Rittenhouse while he was still on the ground, and Silver Lake resident Anthony Huber struck Rittenhouse in the shoulder with a skateboard and struggled for control of the rifle. Rittenhouse fired at Huber once, fatally shooting him in the chest, killing him. When West Allis resident Gage Grosskreutz approached Rittenhouse and pointed a handgun at him, Rittenhouse shot Grosskreutz once in the right arm, severing his bicep muscle. So Gage actually is the survivor of this attack. And I know I probably pronounced his last name wrong, but that's not important in this case. So Kyle Rittenhouse turned himself in to the police department on August 26, 2020. So that is the shooting of Kyle Rittenhouse. Now, here is why I think Kyle Rittenhouse is innocent. So, if we look back at what I just talked about a few moments ago, the very first victim that got shot, which happened to be Mr. Joseph Rosenbaum, he was coming at Mr. Kyle Rittenhouse trying to take his rifle. So if someone is coming at me and I have a weapon and I see them trying to grab the weapon, that's self-defense right there, because a person is trying to take a weapon from me and use it against me. So I think Kyle Rittenhouse acted in defense there. So he was defending himself and the people around him. Now let's look at the next shooting. So while Rittenhouse tripped and fell to the ground after being hit in the head, and someone jump kicking him, he's thinking these people are going to attack me. So Anthony Huber actually comes and physically attacks Rittenhouse in the shoulder with his skateboard and tried again to grab the gun from Mr. Kyle Rittenhouse. So again, that is self-defense, because he was being hit with the skateboard and that person was also trying to take the gun from Mr. Kyle Rittenhouse. So it resulted in Kyle Rittenhouse firing at Anthony Huber, killing him by shooting him in the chest. And finally, the third victim, Gage, who luckily survived, he got shot because he pointed a handgun at Kyle Rittenhouse. Again, another self-defense argument there. If someone's going to point a weapon at you, you have every right to defend yourself. So that is why I personally think Kyle Rittenhouse is innocent. He was simply defending himself. All right. Now, it has nothing to do with racism. It has nothing to do with favoring police and thinking it's okay that police can attack black people or anything like that. It is simply just the truth. Kyle Rittenhouse acted in defense. Let me tell you, if somebody was coming at me trying to take whatever weapon I had on me, I am going to defend myself. If I fall to the ground and someone jump kicks me in the back of the head and hits me on the shoulder with a weapon, I am going to defend myself. And likewise, if someone points a handgun at me, I am going to defend myself. And I bet you would defend yourself as well. So before you even accuse this guy, Kyle Rittenhouse, of being guilty, you need to put yourself in his shoes. If somebody was coming after you, would you stand there and take it? Would you risk getting seriously injured? Probably not. You probably would defend yourself as well. So take that into consideration before you automatically assume he is guilty. I thought long and hard about this case, and when I finally realized that he acted in self-defense, I was right. I was like, he definitely is innocent because he did not go out there with the intention of killing people. He knew that there was the likelihood of violence, which is why he brought the gun with him. But I do think that having the gun likely amped up people's reactions because when people see guns, they freak out. So I do think having the gun may have made the stakes a little bit higher and caused a fear reaction in people. And when people fear, they end up doing things that they regret. So maybe he should not have had the gun. But in the end, my personal opinion is that Kyle Rittenhouse is innocent. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, it really doesn't matter. I think Kyle Rittenhouse is innocent. That's my opinion, and I am sticking with it. So I personally hope this young man gets found innocent and he could go on to living a normal life and pursue whatever it is he wants to pursue, whether he wants to be a police officer or not. And this could be a learning experience for him, and maybe he'll never have to kill again. But if he gets convicted and he ends up being guilty, then I have no choice but to accept it. But because it really won't affect me anyway. So that is my opinion on this case. Now, what would I say to people who think otherwise? Well, I'll end it like this. What would you do if someone is coming after you with a gun? What would you do if someone is walking up to you in a threatening manner? What would you do if somebody is beating you with a skateboard? You would defend yourself. Thank you very much. So that is why Kyle Rittenhouse is innocent. You cannot prove, there is no proof that he went there with the intention and the malice of killing people. There is no proof in that. So as of right now, and I think I'm always going to stick with it, Mr. Kyle Rittenhouse is innocent. There you have it, folks. That is why I think Kyle Rittenhouse is innocent. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Keeping It Real with Alex Cardinale. I know a lot of people are going to dislike this video, but I don't give a crap. I like to share my personal opinion online. A lot of people do as well. So if you respectfully disagree with my opinion, that is fine. If you agree with my opinion, that is fine as well. I just want to thank you for letting me take the chance to share my opinion with you because as an American, I have the right to share my opinion. And again, I think Kyle Rittenhouse is innocent. So I'm going to end it with that. I'll save another controversial topic for another episode of Keeping It Real with Alex Cardinale. This Friday's episode of Keeping It Real with Alex Cardinale will be a much more fun topic, a much more positive topic. I'm going to take you on a trip. I'm going to take you what it's like every Thursday night for me as we go to my bowling league, and you'll watch me bowl, and I'll talk about why I love bowling so much. So join me this Friday for that episode of Keeping It Real with Alex Cardinale. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale, and have a great rest of your day. And thank you for watching. Legendary Alex Cardinale here to announce the legendary Alex Cardinale subscriber giveaway presented by Texas Roadhouse. This giveaway is for all of you, all 16,000 of you subscribed to my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. On Sunday, March 6th, 2022, I will be celebrating my 8th year as a YouTuber. I will be hosting my 8-year YouTube anniversary. And in order to celebrate that, I'm going to say thank you to my 16,000 subscribers by hosting a prize giveaway presented by Texas Roadhouse. The prize for this giveaway is a customized $75 Texas Roadhouse gift card signed by yours truly, the legendary Alex Cardinale. I will sign the gift card and send it your way. So here is how to enter this contest to win a $75 Texas Roadhouse gift card. Film a video discussing your favorite meal at Texas Roadhouse and your favorite video of mine and favorite thing about my YouTube channel. Now, if you have never eaten at Texas Roadhouse before, then just discuss your favorite video of mine and your favorite thing about my YouTube channel. Email the video to alexgoyankiecardinale19@gmail.com by March 1st, 2022. Anyone that is subscribed to my channel can enter. So I suggest entering so that you can have an all-exclusive entree, appetizer, and dessert, and maybe even a margarita at Texas Roadhouse, courtesy of the legendary Alex Cardinale. So enter right now. Deadline for entry is Tuesday, March 1st, 2022. All video entries will be uploaded to my YouTube channel and the legendary Alex Cardinale subscriber giveaway playlist. Video with the most likes and views wins. The winner will be announced live on March 6th, 2022 during my 8-year YouTube anniversary. Good luck, everybody. Enter now. Remember, entry's deadline is March 1st. Stay legendary, everybody. Hey, Alex Cardinale here. It's November, and that means it's Thanksgiving season and the start of holiday season. Thanksgiving is the time of year where we're all thankful for being alive, being healthy, and having a great family. Thanksgiving is a holiday where we get together with our family and have a delicious meal with turkey and all the fixings. For the first time ever on my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale, I will be hosting my inaugural Thanksgiving Day Bash. It will air live on Thanksgiving Day, Thursday, November 25th, 2021, at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. I will give you turkey cooking tips. I'll also give you Thanksgiving cooking tips And I'll have some other wonderful Thanksgiving themed topics. And I will also preview NFL on Thanksgiving Day. Don't miss Thanksgiving Day Bash live this Thanksgiving, November 25th, 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here on the legendary Alex Cardinale YouTube channel. Happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you on Thanksgiving Day.